Hello. Hello. Someone join. Hello. 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 Can anyone hear me? Hello. Can anyone hear me? Hello. I'm not hearing anyone. I'm not sure if you haven't entered the pin yet. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me, but if you can, and because I can't hear you, I'm thinking that maybe you haven't entered your audio pin, and the audio pin doesn't come up until after you've gone to the link on the website. And so you would need to go to the website, so you need the internet in order to have audio. And if you don't have computer access, try typing in 35# to see if that gives you audio. I'm not sure if it'll give a different pin, but that was the pin that it gave me. 35#. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can. Who is this?
This is Bridget Lockett. We got disconnected.
Okay. I figured that when I
Okay.
heard the time. And I don't know if anybody else has joined. I heard a
The
couple
server
of
got two callers on the line.
You said there are 2 callers on the line?
That's what the little automated system said.
Okay. I'm not. It may be me and you that they might be talking about. I heard a couple of times, but I couldn't hear anybody.
Yeah, I just tried to call back about 3 times, and I heard you saying hello, but you couldn't hear me.
No, I couldn't. Did it ask you for an audio pin?
Yes.
Did you know what it was, or?
No, I didn't press anything, and when you don't press anything, it just came straight to you.
Okay, okay. So maybe a couple of people. I'm not sure if somebody else had trouble because I couldn't hear. Like I said, I kept hearing a couple of times, and I wasn't sure if that was you or if that was somebody else trying to get on. Were you able to get to the to a computer, Bridget?
No, it won't let me pull it up. It's acting crazy.
Okay, okay, that's okay. I can talk us through it.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait maybe a few more minutes because I know this is new for everybody, doing a conference call and then trying to be on the computer and access the codes and then get on with audio. So I know a few people may have a little trouble getting on if they even tried. So I don't know what everyone's schedule was like. So that's why I was like, if you couldn't make it, that's fine. I just wanted to kind of, address any questions and go over some quick things just to make sure everybody was okay.
Okay.
So I'll wait a couple more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started because I know everyone's time is valuable too. And I'm also recording this, so hopefully I can get the link out, well, the recorded link, and so those who weren't able to join us or couldn't connect, they'll be able to see it later.
Okay.
Well, how's your day going so far?
It's great. Very great.
Okay,
I'm
good.
glad today again.
You said say it again?
I said I'm glad it didn't rain again today.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, it's great. How was your day?
It is going fine. Busy as always, but it's a great day. I cannot complain.
Okay, well, that's good.
Well, Bridget, it may be just me and you, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then if some others come on the line, we'll be able to hear the chime, and then they can catch up, and I can kind of fill them in. But I just wanted to kind of address just some of the things about a 3.5 essay. Okay. And I wanted to start by just, first of all, just asking a short introduction. And so I just asked for those that were able to see the PowerPoint to state their name, first and last, and I already know Bridget Lockett, and then tell me what year in school this is for you and what your major is, and then briefly tell me something about your family, you know, whether you're married, single, children, etc., and then your hobbies. So what school this is for you, what year in school this is for you, excuse me, your major, and then something about your family and your hobbies.
You want me to type that in or tell you now?
You can tell me now.
Oh, okay. I'm a freshman.
Okay.
And okay, my major is pre-law.
Okay.
And I am a mother of two, a single mother of two.
Okay. All right. And any hobbies?
Shopping.
Okay. I like that one. And I was, after everybody introduced themselves, I was going to kind of tell the class something about me because I haven't really done that. I don't know, I can't remember if I put, I think it might have been a brief introduction, but I don't know if I told you a whole lot. Well, of course, my name is Zena Henry, and this is the second course that I've taught at Victory University. I actually taught English, high school English, for 10 years. And that was in the Memphis City school system, actually at Hamilton High. And I went, I taught middle school for a couple of years as well, language arts. Then I also got an endorsement to be a librarian, so I went back to Hamilton as librarian for a couple of years. And then I decided to leave Memphis City school system to pursue a whole nother degree. So I'm actually back in school myself, working on a marriage and family therapy degree. And, so I'm doing a whole lot, and I actually do an internship with Exchange Club for the Marriage and Family master's degree. And let me see what else. And I'm also working part-time for Memphis City Schools, the Memphis Teaching Fellows Program, where I go in and do evaluations on new teachers. So with that, a whole lot. And not only that, I'm also me and my husband have a marriage ministry that we started back in '07, and so we kind of go to different churches conducting conferences about marriage. And we have one son, and he's 20 years old. And he's actually in college himself as well. So.
Okay. So do you like teaching this online course?
I actually do. I think the reason why I'm doing the conference call is probably because I kind of miss the face-to-face and being able to explain some things. And I think it would be helpful if you got a chance to ask me questions directly, talk to me, if you had questions, or, you know, I think that's helpful. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do the conference call. And I hope to try to do them. You know, I want to try to do it every week. I know, you know, like I said, it's not a requirement because it's not mandatory, of course, but I think it might help. If, you know, someone has a question, they can, I'm here and they can ask me, and, you know, they can give me an example of what they're talking about versus me just seeing your papers and then giving you feedback on them, and you may not even understand the feedback or, you know, what it is that I'm looking for, what's, you know, to be done. So I think that's what I miss. But I do like the online because it gives me a chance to do what I need to do and not actually have to go to a class. So, and I actually take online classes for my marriage and family therapy degree. So that's another reason why I was okay with doing it, because I'm used to being online taking classes.
Oh, okay. This is my first online class.
Huh?
This is my first online class.
Okay.
And I
So how do
actually
you like
like
it so
it.
far?
Yes, I actually do like it. It's very convenient. And at first I was scared that I wasn't gonna understand, like when the teacher gives out something and you have to go do it. It's different versus them being in front of you. So I thought I wouldn't really understand it, and maybe you probably give something that I was like, oh, what's she talking about? But so far, it's so good. So
Okay,
I
good.
like it.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people think after they've taken it, and then it's convenient. I don't have to actually go sit in a class. I can do my assignments kind of on my own time, and I think you have to be a little bit disciplined because you are kind of your own teacher, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
Yeah.
tell yourself, okay, I have assignments due. I have to turn these in. So other than that, but I think you're right. It is very convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the first thing that I just wanted to talk about was I just had some questions, and these are just questions that you may or may not know the answer to, and it's okay because I know it's just me and you, so there's no one else here to kind of answer. So what do you think should be included in the first paragraph of a 3.5 essay?
The 3 points, well, I would say, like your thesis statement, maybe,
Okay.
or your 3 points to the body of your essay.
Okay, good, very good. And I'm going to skip the other question just for time's sake because the other question just asks how can you enhance your essay, but we're going to talk about some of those things as we go along, so I'll skip that for now.
Okay.
And then the last question was just can you give me an example of a transition word?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay, no problem. When you think about those, and we're going to talk about those a little later too, but they might be, for instance, however, therefore, in conclusion, some of those words like that.
Okay.
Or first, second, third, your simple ones. Okay, and then I just have the objectives listed here. It says by the end of this session, the learner will be able to explain the elements of a 3.5 essay, be able to explain transition words and give several examples, and then later be able to effectively write a 3.5 essay with minimal grammatical errors. And so again, I know it's just me and you on the call, but hopefully I'll be able to record this. So anyone, or you can watch it later, or the rest of the class can watch it later as well. But I started off with the first paragraph and just kind of some of the things that you said, the thesis, the 3 points, and your introduction is in the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, you're only talking about the first point. So whatever your first point was from those 3 points, that goes in the second paragraph, and then you explain it and give it maybe some examples or some support. In your third paragraph, that's only the second point. So you would take that second point, explain it, and give some examples. And then the fourth paragraph is the third point, and you would explain it with examples again. And then, your fifth paragraph concludes it, and then all 3 points are kind of summarized again. Okay. Did you have any questions so far, Bridget?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And so what I wanted to kind of just briefly talk about is before you write, because sometimes when we get ready to write, we just jump into writing. We don't even think about before we write. And so some of the things that I want you to think about before you write is think about what's being asked of you. Like, what am I being asked to write? In this first paper that we had to do, you were being asked to write what?
Talk about what changed your life.
Yeah, exactly. You were asked to, like, a personal narrative about something that changed your life. And so when you know what you're being asked, then you can kind of think about, okay, where do I need to go from there? So think about your topic. Then you want to think about your audience. And in this case, your audience would be the teacher. But sometimes you may be writing a letter to a friend. Sometimes you may be writing something that may be for your job, so it may be a business letter. So always think about your audience. And when you think about your audience, think about whatever it is that you need to do that would be, what's the word I'm looking for? That would be meant for that audience, so to speak. So let me give you an example. Like if you were writing a letter to your friend, you might not use proper grammar or correct standard English because, if you're talking to a friend, you might be like, girl, what's up, what you doing later on? It may be kind of the slang that you use. But if you were writing a business letter to your boss, you definitely wouldn't address it like that. It would always be Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, and then it would be kind of formal, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then you want to think about your purpose. What is the purpose of this writing assignment? And we know ultimately the purpose is to get a good grade, but before that, the purpose could be, you know, I want to explain one thing that has changed my life or several things that have changed my life. And then try exploring strategies. And exploring strategies help you develop your topic. So they could be things like free writing. And when you free write, that means you just write on whatever. You're just free writing. It doesn't matter. You might, whatever comes to mind, you're writing about it. Brainstorming, you may be thinking about what are some things that I can talk about in this essay. What are some things that have changed my life? Maybe it was the death of somebody. Maybe it was the birth of someone. Maybe it was going to school for the first time. Maybe it was seeing off a child to kindergarten or something like that. So one of those things. And then questioning is another exploring strategy, like asking questions. So what did happen that changed my life? How did this affect me? How did it affect anybody else around me? Was it a change for the better or for the worse? You know, so those are some things that can help you develop your topic. And then clustering is the last one. Clustering is when you have the little circles. You may have one circle in the center, and then you have your circles around it, and you kind of cluster. So you may have one thing in the center that the change, whatever the change was. Let's say it's the birth of a child. And so then the other clusters around it may be the weight of the child, the day the child was born, the child's sex, what was the name of the child, maybe, you know, did the child have any brothers or sisters before they got here? How did you feel about the child being, you know, so that's clustering. Any questions so far, Bridget?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The first paragraph, again, just kind of went into a little detail about the first paragraph and that it should contain your 3 points, your thesis, and your hook. And I had a quick video, but I'm not going to show it because I know you're not online, so you won't be able to see it. But it just kind of talks about developing. So I can skip that. And then I kind of broke down the second, third, fourth, and fifth paragraphs a little bit more. Just again, remember each paragraph, like the second, third, and fourth, fifth paragraph, all of those paragraphs should begin with a transition word if possible. And your textbook has a list of transition words, I believe, in Chapter 3. And so there are plenty, and it actually tells you what type of transition word it is. Like, is it for space? Is it for time? Is it for, what are the other ones? I think it's consequences or cause and effect, and I think there are a couple more. But there's a whole list of transition words that you can use. And, you know, just make sure that the transition word kind of fits your transition, you know, that you're not just throwing, for instance, when you don't have a for instance or an example. And the third paragraph, again, begins with a transition word, and remember, you're just talking about the second point. Fourth paragraph, same thing, just talking about the third point. And then the fifth paragraph just kind of summarizes everything that you've already said. You may want to restate it in some other words, and you can use the in conclusion transition word there or something else, okay? And then finally, after you've written your essay, after you did your exploring strategies, kind of like you thought about what you're going to write, after you have written all 5 of your paragraphs, then you want to go back and revise or edit. So after you finish, you want to proofread it thoroughly, and keep in mind, we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes. I was looking at the email that I sent out to you, to the class not too long ago, and I was like, oh, I left out some words because I'm typing faster than I'm thinking. Yeah, so that's why we need to go back and proofread. And then always use Spellcheck. Even though Spellcheck is not 100% accurate all the time, because sometimes it catches things that don't need to be changed. So that's where you would have to kind of know, what was I trying to say? Is this correct thing, or is it spelled correctly, or whatever Spellcheck is saying that's wrong, then you look at it to make sure, okay, maybe it's not wrong. So always use Spellcheck and then read what's being said because you may not need to change something. And then if you're not sure, then get someone else to read it for you, to proofread it to make sure you haven't missed anything. Okay, and I put an example paper on here, but again, I'll email this out, this PowerPoint out, so you can see the example paper that I put up. And then I also put a graphic organizer too that kind of goes through, you know, putting the thesis and then putting our key points, 1, 2, 3, and then putting the support for those key points. And that was really all that I had. I just wanted to make sure that we were able to explain the elements, and you gave those to me in the beginning, and then explain what transition words were, and just know that they help our paragraphs transition and flow with each other. Okay, and then I think that is about it. And I wanted to know, and since you're the only one here, Bridget, I guess I can ask you, but I wanted to know, was this helpful?
Being on the conference call?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And very, because, well, I didn't know much about those transition words, and I'm actually about to go look it up in my book. And I think you said it's in chapter 3 maybe, but I'm not going to find it.
Yeah, chapter 3. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go look into that and learn more about that.
Okay, fine, good. And that was the one thing, that was the next thing I was going to ask. Tell me one thing that you would take away from this session, and you just did. That you're going to go look for transition words. Okay,
Yes.
so good. Did you have any questions for me?
No, right now. Everything is fine right now. So
Okay.
if we have another conference call, if I do have a question, this will be a good way to get it out and talk to you live. There will be a lot of help, but I don't have any right now because we haven't did too much that need. I need a lot of any questions too.
Okay, that's fine. And if you need to email me your question later, if you think of one or if you come up with one, that's fine too.
Okay.
Okay, well, Bridget, I appreciate you so much. I'm sure the other classmates will appreciate you. So we're kind of helping them to see this presentation, and I really hope that it recorded. So I'm going to try to set it up now to send it out to everyone. And, again, I appreciate you. And if you don't have any other questions, I don't have anything else. I don't plan, if we do have conference calls, I don't plan for them to be long. You know, I'm thinking maybe 30 minutes at the max. You know, that would depend on if someone has questions, but then I save the questions for the end, because if no one else has questions, then you can go ahead and, you know, those people can go ahead and hang up while others are still asking questions. So hopefully more will join us next Friday. And I don't know, maybe Friday's not a good day, so I may have to change it to another day, maybe a Thursday or something. I know it's the weekend, so everybody wants to get out. So I'll kind of send a poll out and see what the consensus is, and we'll go from there. But I would like to do this every week. But like I said, just a 30-minute check-in, just, you know, in case someone has questions or comments or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You have a wonderful weekend.
You do too.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.